Yes, everybody. Hello, it's Stephen Howson. It's Full Time Devils. Today I am joined by my mate, Cheeky Sport Joel, because we've got a swap deal to be talking about. The imminent transfer / swap deal between United and Arsenal of Alexis Sanchez and Henrikh Mkhitaryan. Sanchez is coming this way. We're sending Henrikh Mkhitaryan down the M1, and we're going to talk about it. So who's got the better deal is what we're going to be coming to the end of, and you guys can send in comments. The best comments are going to end up on the screen, so tweet at FullTimeDEVILS for all of that sort of stuff. We're going to be talking to the comments as well after each little point that we're going to get to, so make sure to get involved with us, and at the end of the video, make sure you go and subscribe to Cheeky Sport and get more of the lovely Cheeky Sport Joel. So Joel, how are you doing, our kid?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Happy to be on this call this morning. I was a bit tired last night. I was watching the highlights of Alexis Sanchez 80 goals for Arsenal. Watched that, went live, then went to sleep. And yeah, today I'm awake and ready for the call, mate.
All right, beautiful. So you can tell us exactly what we're getting then in terms of the player, Henrikh Mkhitaryan. So what do you think he's going to bring to United? Sorry, yeah. Should we start that again?
Yeah.
So Alexis Sanchez then, what sort of player are we getting in Alexis Sanchez?
Wow. Alexis Sanchez, where can I begin? A warrior, a committed player, somebody who wants to win trophies, the type of player that's able to take the team on his back when needed, to bring trophies, man. That's the main thing. He's a winner. If you look at what he's done for Chile, Chile was not one of those teams that were in contention to be winning Copa Americas. Don't forget, even though Argentina haven't been at their best, you've still got other big teams. You've still got really big teams in South America like Uruguay, Brazil, like I said, Argentina, who, to be honest with you, who are in great shape, have great players. But Alexis Sanchez has been the difference. And that's why in his country, he is an absolute god. He is what James Rodriguez was to Colombia after the last World Cup. The guy is world class. He's actually improved, believe it or not, under Wenger. I would say one of the rare players recently that I reckon has improved. He was good at Barcelona. His last season was probably the best season he had when he was at Barcelona. He had this hunger, but he still got moved on. But since he's been to England, you can see that he was already strong, but he's even stronger now. I can only imagine what he would have done if he went back to the Liga, because he is now a complete player. He's played in Italy, he's played in Spain. The guy has masses of experience at club level internationally. Pardon, sorry?
Some United fans might get the reference. He says he's played in Italy, he's played in Spain. I said he's played in the sun, he's played in the rain.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's played every. Sorry, mate, the connection was a bit crap, so we couldn't really receive the house and joke properly. But yeah, you're right. He has played in the sun, he's played in the rain. He's honestly, this guy, he's something else. I reckon the last few months of the Alexis Sanchez has not been the best because his heart and his mind hasn't been there. But now that he's just a player that wants to go somewhere, feel wanted, and have the mentality that today we're going to win trophies. And that's exactly what Jose Mourinho embodies.
30 goals for his last season, all competitions, the best season that he's had in terms of goal scoring, but he creates as much as he scores, doesn't he?
He plays in different positions. Before going live, you mentioned that he could play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play behind the striker, you can play him up top if you really want. But the good thing is, he's going to be able to push every single player in Man United to step their game up, whether it be Jesse Lingard, whether it be Martial, Rashford, whether it be Lukaku, whether it be, whoever plays on the right, Mata. You guys are getting someone that's going to be able to... You need for players to come in, for people to go, oh, crap, he's in the building. You know what I mean?
Is he a leader then? Because that's what you're sort of getting at. He's going to push people as an actual leader, not just as a good player out for himself.
He's played with the best of the best. He's played with Lionel Messi. He's played with Xavi, Iniesta. He's played with Ozil. He's played with really, really top quality players. He plays with Vidal. So his personality isn't an issue for him. Personality isn't an issue. Of course, when you go to Manchester United, it's a big club and there's a lot of pressure. But hey, he had that pressure every week at Barcelona. He has that pressure when he plays for Chile, because the whole team relies on him when he plays nationally. So the big stage is not a problem for him. The difference with Lukaku when you signed him is that Lukaku it's like, okay, he can do it for Everton. Can he do it for Man United? With this guy, he's already proven. With Pogba, it was like, okay, can he adapt back into the Premier League? The difference is he's already proven. Martial, can he grow into the player? Rashford, can he carry on? With all these other players, there's a question and doubt. But with Alexis Sanchez, when he's available on the market, you get him.
I agree. I agree. World-class players like this don't come around very often. People are talking about the longevity that you're likely to get out of him. I'm not sure he is going to be the sort of player that can carry on till he's 40 because he does rely quite a lot on explosive pace. But I don't care, in all honesty. If we get 3 or 4 good years out of him, that's all we got out of Cantona. You know, we didn't even get that out of Robin van Persie, so I'm not bothered. If he can return us to the top, then it's been an absolutely banging investment. We are going to come to the comments pretty soon, so make sure you get your comments in on your thoughts as well. Now, yeah, we mentioned this before we went live. Alexis Sanchez, over the last 12 months for Arsenal, has featured a little bit as a bit of a number 10, hasn't he? Sort of a support striker and mostly on the left. He has played on the right, but I want to talk to you about him potentially playing on the right for Manchester United. I would love to see it. I don't think we're going to see it. I think we're going to see him brought on the left. To fill in a little bit and advance what we've already got with Martial. But I'd like to see him on the right. And that is a forward three. Martial, Lukaku and Sanchez is a deadly forward three, I think. So what's your thoughts on that? Could Alexis Sanchez be the right winger that United are looking for?
Well, to be honest with you, he has played a lot on the right. I don't know if you probably won't know, but a lot of us are Arsenal fans out here. We're out here debating. We were like, oh, he should play less on the right, more up front. And then Wenger played him up front. I think last season he focused on playing him more up front, which is one of the reasons why he got the 30 goals, because Wenger moved him from the right-hand side position up top. So plenty of experience on the right-hand side. And I completely agree with you, Howson. When I heard that the deal was brewing a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks now, we could say, I thought to myself, you know what, yeah, I love Mata. In general, I think the guy's a quality player. I was a massive fan of his at Chelsea. I think at Man United, he's been playing in the wrong position the whole time. I think he should be playing as a number 10 if he's going to play. Fair enough, you've probably got other players that you'd rather play there, but for me, Mata's his best position. When you see him at Chelsea, when he's got best player of the year twice for Chelsea, was in that number 10 position. When I look at Sanchez, I like to see him more forward. But I do believe that he can also take on players, do what Suarez was doing for Liverpool in the big games. Because don't forget, in the big games, Suarez for Liverpool did not play up top. He actually played on the right. And then Rodgers would use Sturridge up top. And I reckon Mourinho could do the same thing. Big games, play Alexis on the right. Do you know why? Because he's got the hunger. He's got the hunger to chase a man down. He's got the hunger to put in a good ball. He's got the hunger to run in and score a goal. You're going to be getting a better player if you play him on the right than if you play Mata on the right. That's my opinion.
One of the major criticisms of our 2 recent mega signings, Lukaku and Pogba, is that they both haven't turned up in the biggest games. And I think a little bit of that is down to the fact that Pogba hasn't played mostly in those big games. But the criticism is there, and it's probably a little bit valid as well. What are we talking about with Alexis Sanchez in the biggest of big games?
Seen it before, mate. A country that's not supposed to be winning coppers, you know, a country that was nowhere near contention to win coppers. You would have never imagined it if you were looking at the Chile squad 5 years ago or 10 years ago. You know, it's not the team that you were saying that were building great players. And to be fair, they got a decent spine in that, but I still don't turn around and look at that team and go, oh, you know, it's not.
You've got Claudio Bravo in net for one.
Yeah, you got Claudio, exactly. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, and I'm not, you know, Claudio Bravo, mate, we've all seen what he does. So in general, what you're looking at is a player that he's a different breed because he dies. He's willing to die to win on the pitch. And there's not a lot of players that are willing to do the same thing. Literally, the emphasis. Remember when he was angry at Bournemouth? He threw the gloves on the floor. Let me tell you what happened. Even though it's not a big game and it was against Bournemouth last season as per se, but it was still a big game for Arsenal. What happened? Giroud equalises in the last minute or whatever. He's the guy that goes and gets the ball to put it back in the centre circle. So when Giroud's flying around doing butterfly celebrations and stuff like that, he's absolutely pissed. Do you know what I mean? And the truth is, you can ask Adam McCullough, me and Alexis Sanchez have similar attributes when we play football. We don't care how it gets done. We just want to win, mate. Do you know what I mean? And that is what it is about, to be honest with you. And he'll do it in the small games. He'll do it in big games. He just wants to win, mate.
Right, remember, keep texting us or tweeting us at FullTimeDEVILS on Twitter. The best ones we're going to be putting up across the screen. We have got some comments we're going to read out on the old comments here on YouTube. Now, welcome Alexis Sanchez to the best club ever in the world, period. Manchester United, that's Dale Edwards. Jan Turter says, feels sorry for Arsenal, actually. I don't, and I'll get into it when I start talking about Mkhitaryan in a second. Lewis Brown says, big up Cheeky Sport, what a done. And Nelson says, Mesut Ozil next to come to Old Trafford. Before we get into the Mkhitaryan thing, Mesut Ozil, very much certain to be leaving Arsenal. There's rumours of a new contract being offered, but what's your thought? Is he going to be leaving?
I reckon he'll be signing a new contract because I reckon, first of all, I've seen that Ozil has a different type of connection to Arsenal than Alexis does.
I think Ozil is the player that Manchester United need. You think he's the sort of player that United want to get on the books because we haven't got anybody that can do the sort of things he does? I think in one matter, and with what we had with Mkhitaryan, I thought we had that pretty much covered. I was less excited when the rumours was about Ozil than I was about Sanchez because I thought if we got Ozil, it meant United was going to be playing 4-2-3-1, and I don't think that suits the players that we've got in the team. The rumours about Ozil are still very strong at United, and some of the people within the club are talking about Ozil in such a matter-of-fact way that you think that they think it's a done deal.
My thoughts. Well, to be honest with you, I did a great speech earlier on that didn't come out because of the sound issue. But like I said, I think it's going to be harder to prize away Ozil from Arsenal, housing, only because he has a different type of connection to Arsenal. And I'm not saying it's a guarantee. It's football. Do you know what I mean? Like anything can happen. But if you see, because I speak with some of the younger players occasionally, and they tell me that he's more of a father figure. Him, Mertesacker, and Cech, they're more father figures at the club. And the reassurances from the club will be going directly to Ozil because he is the player that they want to keep happy. And don't get me wrong, man. It's one thing losing one world-class player, but if you lose two world-class players in 6 months, it could really be a disaster, regardless of if you bring in Mickey and or Aubameyang. So I generally do believe that it's going to be harder. They're going to fight to keep him even more than they did Sanchez. And going back to my part, I was saying that I generally believe when I look at the Man United team that Ozil, even though Sanchez is great and when he's available you take him, but Ozil is the type of player that I think United need more than Sanchez, because I was saying you have the B-Tech and C-Tech versions of players who can probably do what Sanchez does. Now, not being disrespectful to Lingard, he's just not on Sanchez's level yet, you know? You never know, right? But it's like I do believe that with Ozil, you don't have anyone who can do what he does. You don't have anyone who can pull the strings the way he does. You don't have anyone who can play the way he does. Now, I know you're saying that Man United would have to play in a different formation and it doesn't quite suit the players. But, hey, sometimes you have those special players, man, that you have to build your team around.
And I think Paul Pogba's that one. And I think bringing in Ozil, and I don't think you could play Ozil and Pogba at the same time and get the best out of both at the same time, unless he comes up with some mad formation that perhaps we haven't really seen him use so far, which is possible, I guess. Like I said, I was more excited when I heard the Sanchez things than the Ozil things. If we did manage to get Ozil, and if we wanted to play Ozil as a number 8 along the same sort of line as Paul Pogba, I think that could be pretty tasty, to be honest.
It could work. It could. And also, I can't believe I'm an Arsenal fan here talking about our top players going to Man United. It's just where we are, people. Don't sit there and hate me. You know, it's not because
Joel didn't sell them.
You know what I mean? But it's just, unfortunately, it's the situation of the club. And I have to be really honest. Hold on a second. Little one's crying. Give me 2 seconds. Excuse me.
She just found out about Sanchez.
She just found out about Sanchez. She's really upset. She's hearing that the Ozil rumours might also be true, so I'm going to have to calm her down soon. But it is where it is, babe. RVP went a few years ago. Got to live and learn. All right, so basically, like I'm saying, yes, for me personally, I reckon it gives Pogba the opportunity to be a bit more free. And I think that's what he wants more than anything, to be free. I don't think he's afraid if he doesn't necessarily control the ball. I think Pogba, you'll get the best out of Pogba when he's free. And the more free he is, the more he's able to create. And, you know, Ozil's not interested about scoring goals. If you get Ozil in the team, I guarantee you one thing, Pogba will score more goals. Pogba will be able to run at players more. He'll be able to be a bit more flamboyant, lose the ball. Won't really matter because he'll be in a more pushing position. He'll be pushed up a bit more. So, and that's where I like to see Pogba as a football fan. I don't like to see Pogba too deep. I know he does the box-to-box thing. You know, play him. I don't want to see him too far back, in my opinion. But yeah, so like I'm saying, Ozil, for me, I reckon would be much more use for you than Sanchez, but I don't want to hear. I can hear Adam McCullough saying, "We're gonna get both. Don't worry."
Right, Henrikh Mkhitaryan. It's not worked out at Manchester United. There's a lot of talk behind the scenes of personality clashes, of falling out in analysis sessions and this, that, and the other, which happens. It's a shame because there's been a wonderful footballer here at times, but the inconsistency has been massive. What I want to say here is I think Arsenal got a great deal, though. You got a player worth 30 or maybe a 500 million in the current market, who knows. You got a player worth a significant amount of cash, and you've got him essentially for losing a player that you was about to lose for free in 6 months. So I think credit to the Arsenal board here. They've managed to pull off an absolute blinder getting a player like this. It obviously suited Manchester United to get him off the wage bill and move him on and basically get Alexis Sanchez for that as well. I think both clubs, for a change, I don't think it ever happens. I think both clubs have come out of this reasonably happy with what they're walking away with. Are you excited about Henrikh Mkhitaryan?
Excited because of another deal that we're waiting for. Aubameyang. Now, if we're to talk about straight for straight swap, listen, mate, you can't nick my Pokemons and not notice, right? I know exactly what's going on here, right? If we're talking about like for like, Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, we're not going to be as happy because I believe we should have got money on top of Sanchez, on top of giving you Sanchez, because I'm sorry, he's a better player than Mkhitaryan. He's world class. Mickey's not world class. You know,
I think it's literally down to the fact that you was getting nothing for him in 6 months. So something for him now is better, which I understand. Which
is great. But at the same time, you still can't. I'm a tough negotiator, so you still can't pull the wool over my eyes. I'll still probably give, you know, I don't want to say middle finger. You know me, I'm polite, so I'll give you the baby finger instead. But in general, I don't think. I think of course, it's a great deal for everyone. But I reckon Arsenal are happy not just because we got a player that we're going to lose for free. That's not really where we're happy, guys. We're happy because we believe that if we get Mickey and Aubameyang, then we've made the best out of a worse situation. That's where we're happy. Because don't forget, before it was a swap for swap deal, you were hearing Mickey plus 30 million, Sanchez. You were hearing it. But I reckon as soon as the Man United's agents, you know, they realised that, hold on a second, we're in a special situation here where Arsenal need this guy in order to facilitate Aubameyang, the old Dortmund days with Mickey, they could get it for free. And you know what? Smart move. Can't really complain. You're right, not feeling like we got jerked off only if we get Aubameyang.
So an interesting final week for the transfer window for you guys. Right, remember, this deal has yet to have been officially announced by the club. I don't think anyone expects that it's going to collapse at this point. There's obviously leaked photos of the players doing the rounds as well. So we are literally just waiting on the official announcement. As soon as the official announcement happens, we will be live with one of the beautiful faces of Full Time Devils. We don't know who yet because we don't know what time that's going to be. But make sure to join us. I'm going to say thank you to Joel for joining us and giving his thoughts on what we're getting there in Alexis Sanchez. Genuine world-class talent that he's got, hungry and possibly even a leader, which is nice to hear because I think there's a distinct lack of those in the game at the moment. So make sure to go and give Joel and the CheekySport lads, I'm sure you guys will be arguing all sorts of nonsense about that all week, I'm sure, on the various shows on your channel. I am positive. So go and check those out and see what them lads are saying. Thank you for you guys for joining us and getting in the mix.
Hey, wait, I just want to say I'm officially the last person to ever get an Alexis Sanchez signature whilst he's an Arsenal player. It's all over the CheekySport socials, etc. So check it out. I might even send it to your house, and it's amazing.
All right, cheers, Joel. So go give them guys a follow on social, subscribe to the YouTube channel and everything like that as well. So thank you, Joel. Thanks to you guys at home. Remember, we will be live the second the deal is official. So hit that notification bell. And as I told you last night, YouTube's been a bit of a dick. So make sure to hit that notification bell and make sure that you're on all, not occasional. We don't want to be occasional, do we? Hit it all, and we'll see you every single time we've got some news for you. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Come on, Mkhitaryan!